This Gentilly area, like I said, Gentilly is a neighborhood, a very vast neighborhood area, I should say. On this side, we have the Edgewood Park neighborhood. We have Gentilly Terrace and Gardens on the other side of Gentilly. There's Milneburg. Gentilly was actually an area that was developed by a gentleman from California. If you notice, some of the houses have the tile roofs, maybe not all on this side, but we're approaching one now on this corner. This kind of creamy house right here with the tile roofs. There are a lot of California-style bungalows are in Gentilly. So even though this is an area that's not per se on the historic list, it is on what New Orleans has a Neighborhood Conservation District Commission. So what that commission does is to help preserve neighborhoods such as Gentilly with keeping the character of their architecture and their neighborhoods.
As we drive down Gentilly Boulevard here, you may notice that the homes to the right and to the left are built on hills. So this is a ridge, and this is the Gentilly Terrace neighborhood. So while you may have been able to drive a boat down this street, some of the houses in the neighborhood had little, if any, water. And our agency has partnered with the Pontchartrain Park CDC for them to purchase and redevelop over 170 properties in this neighborhood alone. What we're going to see here on your left, if you can see through the torrential rain, is the model home for the Pontchartrain Park CDC. Now, can I get just a show of hands? Who has managed to see Wendell Pierce in the news and the newspaper talking about his work in Pontchartrain Park? Well, this is a model home, and this will eventually be his home. So as you look to the left, you can kind of see you get to see it in full force. It's working here. You get to see the water coming off the roof, being drained off of the roof and underneath the house. There's a bladder underneath the house that collects the water, saves the water so it can be used for irrigation later. Additionally, this house, although it's quite large, has an electricity bill of $374 a year. Here in New Orleans. Project Home Again is the brainchild of Leonard Reggio with Barnes & Noble. He came to New Orleans after the storm and wanted to build houses. He finally figured out how to do it. He purchased a large plot of land and began building homes, energy-efficient homes, on this particular piece of property. Now, their model is a little bit different. As we've seen going through looking at the different developments, saw Make It Right and Pontchartrain Park, which sell their properties with some subsidies associated with it. We saw Samaritan's Purse that gives their properties away with a little bit of sweat equity. But Project Home Again's model is a bit different. What they've elected to do is to trade properties. So say, for instance, you have a property and you haven't been able to put the resources together to rehabilitate your home. You would trade that property then with Project Home Again, move into one of their homes, and they in turn would take over your property and rebuild on it for someone else. So you're killing two birds with one stone with this model. Number one, you're getting folks back into housing, which is very, very important. And number two, which is also important, is you're eliminating blight. So here on your left, you're going to see this first phase of development with Project Home Again. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, how was they transfer the expense? In other words, for example, if I owe $100,000 on my home, and I have to own your house outright. You have to.
Jasmine's telling me that you have to own your house outright to make this switch. Additionally, you have to meet some minimum income requirements so that you can maintain the property. Folks have been in these are the homes right here, Project Home Again. Some folks have been in these houses for as long as a year now. So as we continue down St. Bernard Avenue, I want you to continue to look to your left, and you're going to see what will be the second phase of development for the former St. Bernard Housing Project, also now known as Columbia Park. This is a huge project, redevelopment of the former housing project here. Mixed income apartments. That's the scene over there. If you look far to the left, you can see that they're driving some pilings, and you can get a real sense of the scope of this project. The new units, or the new complex, features a huge pool, a fountain, a gym, and also a theater. You'll see to your left some examples of the original housing units that were here. These units will be, they're going to be worked together to create a community center. Additionally, they'll be attached to a school here.